We're at Tales of the Cocktail 2012. It's the 10-year anniversary, isn't it?
Oh my God, it's 10 years?
I can't believe it. Can you?
Well, I wish you hadn't reminded me of that. It's 10 years? I was a young man when I started doing this.
And you still are.
Yeah, right, pal.
10 years ago, come on.
That's really
We're here
nice
with-
of you. I'm really- no, you're always right there for me. You know what I'm saying, pal? There you go.
Well, thanks. That was, I better put this up quick and run. We're here with Dale DeGroff, Donnie, and Jean-Francois, otherwise known as Johnny. We're talking about Pisco here at the pool on the rooftop of the Hotel Monteleone. What are we doing here? How are we celebrating?
What are we doing? We're celebrating, I think, a lot of things. I think we're celebrating our entrance to the American market. We're celebrating about almost 2 years that we're here. We're celebrating some 30 years of Dale DeGroff at the Rainbow Room putting Pisco on the market with Pisco Sour at the Rainbow Room. We're celebrating happiness, and we're glad to be part of that. Well, we're celebrating
50 years of the eau de grape of grape called Pisco coming from Peru.
And then, Tom, what we're doing is we're celebrating a little party that is celebrated in Peru for 350 years, which is called Coyuriti. And several Andean nations that are separated today by national boundaries celebrate every 15th of June a tribute to the Apu Ausangate, the god Ausangate, the god of the ice, the mountain of the ice. And Dale DeGroff, when he talks about cocktail making, he always mentions that the most important part in a good cocktail is a good chunk of ice, right? This is the most, really,
The heart and soul of the cocktail.
the heart and soul of the cocktail, right? So what Porton tried to do at Tales this year is to put two festivities together. The festivity of Dale making a wonderful cocktail with a chunk of ice, a pure glacier, natural, unadulterated, virgin piece of ice, and our party. So we sent a crew in Lima down to Cusco to visit the Asangate mountain, and we left a homage, which is a estandarte, a flag, which we brought a replica, and we're giving Dale as a tribute to his work for Pisco. But the original is nailed, it's put into the ice at 15,000 feet above sea level. Because what these Indian nations do is they bring down chunks of ice in their back. And for them, this holy ice mountain provides Pachamama, Mother Earth, with the bounty, the nurture that she needs. So you will see pictures of people putting a piece of ice ahead because they want to cure the headache, or in the liver because they have problems with the liver, and even under the dress because they want to have children. So they put the chunks of ice bare, and so it must be very, very cold. So
Mama gives you the water to grow your grapes.
Mama gives us the water to give our grapes.
Right.
So Tom, we did this. We wanted to make a tribute to the ice mountains and bringing a call to all our friends that if we don't do something about global warming, then Porton will not exist because there will be no water for my vineyards, right?
Absolutely.
That's the party.
And if it's an ice mountain, then I might know where I might stick that ice mountain. Tell us, when it comes to Pisco, you've done a lot to put Pisco on the map and to bring it back. Tell us how you've done that.
Well, I can't take a lot of credit. I can say that I had a good mentor. His name was Joseph Baum, and I found one of his old menus from La Fonda del Sol, 1959, and I was reading down the menu, and there it was, Pisco Sour, S-A-U-E-R, and mezcal drinks, margarita drinks, and I was fascinated, and Joe was my mentor, and so when I put the Pisco Sour on the menu at the Rainbow Room in 1992, and I showed it to Joe, a little smile came across his face. Joe never told you were doing a good job. When he didn't say anything, you were doing a good job. When he had a little smile, you were doing a great job. When he saw the Pisco Sour, he said, it's back, basically, you know. And the guys from the Associated Press started drinking it. and it caught on, and of course they would sneak pictures into the press, you know what I mean? And so Pisco came back to America in a slow way, and now it's going to come back in a much more interesting way. I think it's going to be involved in cuisine, it's going to be involved in fine dining restaurants, it's going to be involved in cocktail programs, because it's a versatile spirit that has all those attributes, I think. It's good with food, it's good with cocktails, and it's good just with a dash of bitters.
And you're using some of Dale DeGroff's bitters in this, I understand.
Pimento bitters, it brings the baking spices in. Artificial aging.
What are the bitters? What's in your bitters?
Pimento, which is obviously the Jamaican term for allspice, which is the most complex of all the spices. A little hint of anise, and I can't tell the other two ingredients, or Ted Bro will make me kill you. Ted Bro is actually manufacturing it in France for me at his still, where he makes his beautiful absinthe products. So,
and I thought
to have him as a partner.
Yeah. I thought we would get the recipe out of you. I was trying.
We were almost there.
When it comes to Pisco Porton and mixing with Pisco Porton, what do you like best?
I like the button punch that I make, which is the approximation of what might have been the Bank Street button punch, with clove, a real pounded lemon, and sugar, eventual shrub. Yes, yeah, he pounded the peels and the sugar today, and you get this great complexity of flavors from the spices, and the pisco, which is an achelado and bringing a lot of complexity already to the mix, and the button punch is a marinating of this pisco with really ripe pineapples. So what you end up with is this multi-layered, fruity, spicy, really hopefully with a piece of pure ice. And that's what we serve today here on the top of the pool deck of the Monteleone Hotel in New Orleans, Louisiana.
And we're enjoying that a lot. And we got to get to you. We got to have you tell us about what the important part of what you do on all this. I'm just going to hand the microphone to you since I'm so far away.
No. Well, we have two legends here. So, no, the only thing we are doing working at Porton is we are really trying to bring back Pisco, into the front scene through Porton. And we really think that today as a consumer, there is a cocktail fatigue, with vodka and with tequila. And people are really looking for a new, versatile, complex spirit, but also crafted. Brands, very well-known vodka and tequila brands are not today mass consumed, are mass marketed. And the American people, let's remember that 30, 40 years ago, wine was not part of their daily habits. Spirits and cocktail making and mixology was starting as well. Dell was the initiator of that. And the wonderful thing about the U.S. consumer is very open to learn, is very open to grow, and very open to try. You don't find that in every civilization. And so there is something fascinating happening today is because of the learning process which has been happening for the past 30 years in the U.S., because of the growth of wide mixable spirits, because also of a very structured luxury segment. Today in the U.S., there is a fantastic opportunity to bring Porton Pisco in the front line and make people try it. So what we do is maybe less glamorous and, Dale and Johnny, and less magical, but what we do is we work very hard every day in retail store, in on-premise, educating people about Porton, educating them about Pisco, showing them application, like Dale say, above and beyond the Pisco Sour, which is a traditional cocktail that people think about. But the wonderful thing with Porton is the versatility is limitless. You have a very subtle, complex, smooth product, and really anything you would do with vodka or tequila, you make it with Porton, and it will take a new dimension. Not everybody can wake up in the morning and say, I'm doing what I'm passionate about, and that's what we do every day. So that's why we do it.
I'll drink to that.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
Ding.
Santé.
I wonder